Have you ever wondered why some people seem to make the right choices every single time, while others stumble, hesitate, or regret their decisions constantly? Why do some people seem to navigate life effortlessly, while you find yourself second-guessing everything, from small daily choices to big career moves? The truth is, decision-making is not about luck. It's not about being naturally smart or having some secret talent. Decision-making is a skill, a psychology-backed process that can be learned, refined, and mastered. And the first secret to understanding this skill is awareness. Let's start with something crucial. Most of us think we make decisions rationally, logically, and consciously. But science says otherwise. The human brain is hardwired for shortcuts, biases, and emotional responses. Every day you make countless decisions before your conscious mind even has a chance to step in. These are driven by patterns, habits, and emotional triggers. Imagine this: you are at a crossroads in your career. Two opportunities are in front of you. Your logical mind analyzes the pros and cons endlessly. Meanwhile, your subconscious brain is already reacting, feeling fear, excitement, resistance, or attraction, before you can finish weighing the options. The first step to mastering decision-making is recognizing the invisible forces influencing your choices. Why do people hesitate? Psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, in their groundbreaking work on behavioral economics, revealed that humans are not rational calculators. We are predictably irrational. We overvalue immediate rewards, fear losses disproportionately, and are easily swayed by framing, context, and social influence. Knowing this is not discouraging, it's empowering. It means you can design your decisions consciously, instead of being led by unconscious impulses. Here's a profound truth. Every decision, big or small, is a reflection of your internal state. If you are calm, focused, and confident, your choices tend to be more strategic. If you are anxious, distracted, or reactive, your decisions will mirror that chaos. This is why emotional regulation is a cornerstone of decision-making mastery. Before we go deeper, comment below. Think of a recent decision you regretted. Was it based on pressure, emotion, or fear? Now, let's break down why decision-making often fails. 1. Fear of failure. Fear is the #1 enemy of decisive action. Psychologist Albert Bandura explained that repeated experiences of mastery build belief, but fear and avoidance destroy it. When you constantly imagine worst-case scenarios, your brain learns paralysis. Decision-making mastery starts with facing fear, not avoiding it. 2. Overthinking and analysis paralysis. Information is abundant, but clarity is scarce. Most people overanalyze and drown in details. Nobel laureate Herbert Simon called this bounded rationality. Our brains cannot process every variable, so we simplify by using heuristics. Master decision-makers know which factors truly matter and ignore the noise. 3. Emotional hijacking. Antonio Damasio, a neuroscientist, showed that emotions are not obstacles to rational thinking. They are essential. The problem is when emotions dominate rather than inform. High stakes. Decisions are won when you align emotion with reason, not fight against it. Comment below. Have you ever made a snap decision based purely on emotion? How did it turn out? Steps to master decision-making. Clarify your objective. Know exactly what you want. Vague goals produce vague decisions. Write it down. Be specific. I want financial freedom as a concept. I want to generate $5,000 per month through freelance work. Within 6 months is clarity. Frame the decision correctly. Psychologists call this decision architecture. The way you frame choices determines the outcome. Ask yourself, what are the real options? Are some invisible biases pushing me toward a choice? Embrace probabilities, not certainties. Rarely will you have a perfect choice. Legendary investors like Warren Buffett make decisions by assessing probabilities, not predicting the future. understand the risks and rewards, then act. Limit your options. Barry Schwartz, in The Paradox of Choice, explains that too many options overwhelm the brain, reduce satisfaction, and increase regret. Effective decision-makers narrow choices strategically, take small experiments. Instead of betting everything on a single decision, test. Small actions generate feedback. Adjust, iterate. Each micro-decision trains your brain to become more decisive. Regulate your state, calm body, focused mind. Amy Cuddy in Presence showed that posture, breathing, and micro-expressions influence not only how others perceive you, but how confidently your brain makes choices. Stand tall, breathe deep, feel grounded. Decision-making is physiological as much as cognitive. Leverage social proof and mentorship. Robert Cialdini explains that humans follow those who appear competent. Seek advice from those who've walked the path before. But don't surrender your autonomy. Use guidance, not approval-seeking. Own your decisions. Confidence grows when you accept responsibility for your choices, successes, and failures. Viktor Frankl emphasized that meaning comes from responsibility. Own it. Every choice, even wrong ones, trains you. Review and learn. Every decision is data. Did it produce the expected outcome? If yes, replicate. If no, extract lessons. Avoid blaming luck or others. That erodes decision-making confidence. Comment below. Which of these steps do you already use? Which do you ignore? Combine intuition with analytical rigor. Malcolm Gladwell in Blink talks about rapid cognition, the power of first impressions and unconscious pattern recognition. Experienced decision-makers integrate gut feeling with calculated logic. Now that you understand the framework, let's explore why some decisions stick while others fail, and how you can become a master of choice in every area of life. The power of mental models. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, often emphasizes mental models, conceptual frameworks that simplify complex decisions. The brain cannot process every variable, so mental models act like lenses, helping you see patterns others miss. Examples include opportunity cost. Always consider what you're giving up when making a choice. Choosing one path inherently closes another. Awareness prevents regret. Second-order thinking. Immediate outcomes aren't enough. Think about consequences, 2 or 3 steps ahead. A decision that seems profitable today could backfire in months if you ignore the ripple effect. Inversion. Ask yourself, what would cause failure? And then avoid those actions. Thinking backward often reveals clarity faster than forward planning. By consciously applying mental models, you move from reactive to strategically proactive, transforming decisions into powerful leverage points for your life. Emotional intelligence and decision-making. Emotional intelligence, EQ, is critical. Daniel Goleman highlights that high EQ individuals recognize their emotions before reacting, predict emotional responses of others, manage stress to prevent impulsive decisions. Imagine negotiating a contract. If your anxiety spikes, you might overcommit. If your frustration peaks, you might snap or walk away. High EQ keeps your internal state aligned with rational goals, enabling decisions that produce both short-term wins and long-term respect. The role of cognitive biases. Your mind is not neutral. Cognitive biases silently influence decisions, anchoring, overweighting the first piece of information received. Confirmation bias, seeking information that confirms pre-existing beliefs. Loss aversion, overvaluing potential losses over equivalent gains. Awareness is power. Once you recognize these biases, you can consciously counteract them. Pause, ask questions, gather more perspectives, and make a more objective decision. Decision-making in daily life. Every choice shapes your identity. James Clear in Atomic Habits explains that your repeated actions define who you are. Each small decision is a vote toward the person you want to become. Choosing to exercise, read, or learn consistently builds competence. Avoiding difficult conversations or procrastinating reinforces passivity. Making deliberate choices in daily interactions trains your brain make bigger life decisions with clarity. Think of it like compounding interest. Small, smart choices today lead to massive growth over months and years. Practical exercises to strengthen your decision-making. 1. Decision journaling. Write down every significant choice, your reasoning, predicted outcomes, and final results. Reflect weekly. This creates awareness and accountability. 2. Time-limited decisions. Give yourself a deadline to decide even on small matters. This trains your brain to trust intuition and analysis simultaneously. 3. Pros and cons. With weighting instead of listing pros and cons equally, assign importance. Some factors matter more than others. Visualize the real impact. 4. Meditation for clarity. Calm your mind to reduce emotional hijacking. Even 10 minutes daily improves cognitive control. 5. Simulate consequences. Mentally walk through different outcomes before deciding. This primes the brain for stress and increases decision confidence. The influence of environment. Your surroundings shape your decisions more than you think. Kurt Lewin's field theory states, behavior equal to person X environment. Surround yourself with disciplined, thoughtful, high-performing people. Limit exposure to chaos, distraction, and toxic influences. Structure environments for clarity. Declutter your workspace. Plan your day. Remove unnecessary choices. The most decisive people are not necessarily smarter. They are better at shaping context and controlling inputs, which allows them to focus on high-leverage decisions. High-stakes decisions. Fear, courage, and responsibility. Viktor Frankl emphasizes that meaning comes from responsibility. High-stakes decisions often create fear. The body reacts before the brain can rationalize. Mastery comes from facing fear deliberately. Visualize worst-case outcomes and prepare contingencies. Separate the emotion from the action. Take ownership of results, regardless of outcome. Every courageous choice reinforces internal trust. Every avoidance reinforces hesitation, decision fatigue, and energy management. Even the sharpest minds suffer from decision fatigue. Your brain's willpower is limited daily. Barack Obama famously wore similar suits to minimize trivial decisions and reserve mental energy for high-impact choices. Prioritize your daily decisions. Focus on the few that truly matter. Automate routines and habits to free cognitive bandwidth. Take strategic breaks to recharge mental clarity, decision-making mastery, and leadership. Leaders are defined not by decisions alone, but by how consistently they make sound decisions under pressure. They absorb pressure but don't overreact. They maintain calm, clarity, and empathy. They structure choices ethically, maximizing both results and trust. Influence, confidence, and decision-making intersect here. The quality of your choices shapes your life, relationships, and authority. Reflection and continuous improvement. Mastering decision-making is a lifelong process. Review, refine, and adapt. Identify patterns in your decisions. What worked, what failed. Seek feedback, mentorship, and diverse perspectives. Integrate lessons into future choices. Comment below. Which recent decision taught you the most? How did it change your perspective? If you learned something new about decision-making, hit like. Share this video with someone who struggles to make decisions. Subscribe for more psychology-backed strategies to master your mind and life. Comment below. What's the first high-stakes decision you will tackle using these strategies?